Top-ranked CEO and promoter Bob Arum says Andy Ruiz Jr. didn't beat the real Anthony Joshua, but if they have a rematch, Andy Ruiz will win again. Stay tuned, coming up next.
Hey, this is Cassie, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout out to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.
Shout outs to Blue Blood Sports TV.
You're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Hola, habla Cindy, está viendo Deportes TV.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Bob Arum, top-ranked CEO and promoter, chimes in on Andy Ruiz Jr. rematch with Anthony Joshua. Bob Arum has some interesting things to say. If you didn't know, I'll give you a backstory. Andy Ruiz Jr. used to be signed to Top Rank. Top Rank just recently cut Andy Ruiz Jr. loose not too long ago, which led to Andy Ruiz Jr. signing with Al Heyman in the PBC right before winning and upsetting Anthony Joshua and becoming the first Mexican heavyweight to ever win a title in the sport of boxing history. To say Bob Arum is a little salty, to say the least, is an understatement. Bob Arum had some interesting things to say. One that stuck out that I want to talk about. Bob Arum says that Andy Ruiz Jr. didn't beat the real Anthony Joshua. That wasn't the real Anthony Joshua. This in an interview done by IFL TV's Coogan Cassius. So shouts out to Coogan Cassius, IFL TV, right? He says that Bob Arum didn't beat the real, he says that Andy Ruiz didn't beat the real Anthony Joshua. To which Coogan responded and said to him, well, Anthony Joshua doesn't have any excuses. His team doesn't have any excuses, neither does Eddie Hearn. So is it unfair to Andy Ruiz, to make up excuses for Anthony Joshua? Which Bob Arum responded and said, well, the thing is, we're not fools. We see something was wrong with Anthony Joshua, point blank and period. So then he goes on to say, well, but in a rematch with 2 full training camps, Andy Ruiz Jr. still would win and beat Anthony Joshua, with Anthony Joshua having no excuses. So that is a double-edged sword, isn't it? On one hand, you're saying he didn't beat Anthony Joshua, the real Anthony Joshua, as if you're indicating that the real Anthony Joshua didn't show up. He was hurt, injured, sick, something, right? Something prevented the real Anthony Joshua from showing up. But then on the other hand, you're saying that a healthy Anthony Joshua with a full training camp is not going to beat Andy Ruiz Jr. in the rematch. So it seems to me as if Bob Arum understands that Andy Ruiz Jr. is the better fighter, right? He's not confused on who's the better fighter. Bob Arum understands who's the better fighter is. Bob Arum just don't want to admit it due to the fact that Bob Arum cut Andy Ruiz Jr. loose from his company not too long ago, and this was the outcome right after Bob Arum cut him. So in a sense, Bob Arum doesn't want to admit he was wrong on Andy Ruiz Jr. He then goes on to say, look at Andy Ruiz and look at Joshua. No way Anthony Joshua could lose to Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz can't punch himself out of a wet paper bag. He barely beats prospects. He barely beats journeymen. No way he beats Joshua. But then in the same breath, Bob Arum says, but if they go in the rematch, they need to keep Anthony Joshua away from Ruiz if they go into a rematch, because Ruiz is going to win the rematch. Huh? Bob Arum, you got some explaining to do. You got some explaining to do, Lucy. Bob Arum, you got some explaining to do. That makes no sense, Bob. But it makes all the sense in the world. See, now I'm going to sound a little like Bob Arum. It makes no sense, but it makes all the sense in the world. So it makes no sense what Bob Arum said, but it does make sense. Why does it make sense? It makes sense because Bob Arum is saying this because Bob Arum is a little salty over the fact that he just cut loose Andy Ruiz. He could have had Andy Ruiz over with him and been setting up a fight between Andy Ruiz and Tyson Fury for a unified bout. You understand? And Bob Arum lost out on that. And he just recently cut loose Andy Ruiz. Not even, I don't even think it was 5 months ago. Right? So of course Bob Arum is going to slight Andy Ruiz, because people are going to question Bob Arum and say, why did you cut this dude loose? He's a talent. He's got talent. So Bob Arum has to make up excuses on why he cut loose Andy Ruiz. So he's going to cast a negative light on Andy Ruiz, right? And say he's not a hard worker. He doesn't take boxing serious. So that validates him getting rid of him, cutting him loose. You understand what I'm saying? So it makes no sense what Bob Arum is saying, that Anthony Joshua, if you just look at the two, is no way he wins. Anthony Joshua is the better fighter. Andy Ruiz didn't beat the real Anthony Joshua. But then you say in the rematch, Andy Ruiz is going to beat him 10 out of 10 times. Huh? So that means he's going to beat him when he's the real Anthony Joshua. So in a sense, you're saying that you're admitting that Andy Ruiz is the better fighter. You just don't want to give Andy Ruiz any credit because you're upset that you didn't hold on to Andy Ruiz and you lost out and you look bad. That's the bottom line. But drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Bob Arum says Andy Ruiz didn't beat the real Anthony Joshua, but if they go into a rematch, Andy Ruiz is going to win the rematch because he's the better fighter. Makes no sense, does it? But it does make sense because Bob Arum cut Andy Ruiz Jr. loose not too long ago, and now he has to answer, why would you cut loose such a talent who created history? That's all I got for y'all. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed? Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shouts out to the entire LDBC. Shouts out to New Media. Shouts out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Blue Blood Sport TV.